Hold, please.
This station is This is the train to the next station is Oddly Untouched.
Welcome back to episode 5 of the Wild Cards podcast. My name is Nick Schramm, and when I order online from Domino's...
What is wrong with you?
Oh, sorry, keep going. Keep going, sorry.
When I order online from Domino's...
Pretend I'm not here.
When I order online from Domino's, I get a medium pan pizza, top that with bacon, ham, and jalapenos.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Noah Krizak. And when I go to Domino's or when I order online, I get a medium pizza, and I get a meat lovers, get the mushroom, get the bacon, get the pepperoni, and also you gotta get the breadsticks. Breadsticks are the best part.
What's going on,
What's
guys?
so funny about
What's
pizza?
so
I
bad?
need to know what's so funny about pizza.
Noah was spinning and Alec was like trying to stop him from spinning.
What's going on, guys? I am Alec, and I'm from Long Island, so I don't really know what Domino's is. What is that? But anyway, I guess if I was to order Domino's, I would get some jalapenos on there. And I like the not spicy peppers too, like when they throw the green peppers on there, I like that as well. Throw some bacon on there. And then maybe if I'm feeling really spicy, then throw some ham on there like Nick. But that'd be about it for me.
Yeah. And I'm Connor, also from Long Island, so you're not really going to ever catch me ordering some lesser pizza, but if for some reason I am, I'm probably going to throw some ham on there. I'll throw a little bit of bacon. And since it's Domino's, I got to go with Noah here. We're getting the cheesy bread.
Yeah, I forgot that too.
You said
the
breadsticks.
garlic knots are underrated.
Yeah.
You know what else is good? The little Parmesan bites.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I had. The Parmesan. Yeah.
Really good.
Yes.
For two guys that said that they're from Long Island and never get Domino's.
Yeah, you guys
really
know a lot
did
about
know
the
your
Domino's,
order.
man.
Well, I mean, I feel like
it's
every
just-
pizza place has jalapenos and peppers.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the garlic bread, or the
Yeah.
Parmesan
I mean,
bites.
I've eaten it once or twice.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
5
Okay.
times.
Okay, whatever.
I think you guys got it last week.
Yeah, probably.
All right, well then let's hop right into the top 5. We got a special one this week. We're going top 5 people named John of all time. So who wants to take it away first?
Let's preface this for all of our friends listening to this. It's not people that we personally know named John. It's
Right.
famous people, so don't
Right.
get upset with us.
Yeah, whoever shout out to anybody named John.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nick, you're the host this week if you want to
You
start
want me
us
to take
off.
it away? Okay, we'll start at 5. I'm going to go John Denver. Take Me Home, Country Roads.
You don't realize how hard I'm trying not to sing it right now.
Yeah.
Well, don't. Thank God I'm a Country Boy. Also a classic, humanitarian activist, all around great John. We're going to hop into number 4. He gets another shout out in the pod, John McEnroe. I'm a tennis guy. I think his highlights are some of the best, especially his tantrums. I think they're hilarious.
Are you serious?
Dude, you cannot be serious. And he was, one of the best to do it. So, got to give my number 4 spot to John McEnroe. Number 3, we're going to hop over to another sport more popular in America, football. John Madden, Super Bowl winner, football coach, football player, great quarterback, and of course, have a blast playing all of his video games from, Madden 04 with Vic, I think it was, all the way to, Madden 19 now with AB on the cover.
Possibly the worst color commentator of all time. Have you ever heard, like, the...
Oh, okay, but...
No, I think Joe Buck has that by mile.
Okay, I mean, Joe Buck is just terrible, but when it comes
But they
to,
don't
like,
have Joe Buck on the Madden games, though.
No, they don't.
Thank God. I would never buy one if they did.
Yeah, John Madden, the king of stating the obvious when it comes to
Yeah,
calling football
it's true,
games.
but he wasn't playing during that time,
Yeah,
really, so
yeah,
you just
let him
gotta
go.
cut him some slack. He's still a legend, so he takes my number 3 spot. Number 2, we're gonna reach back a little further in history. We're gonna go John D. Rockefeller, widely considered and regarded as the richest American of all time.
Okay.
Overall, not a great human being based on the fact that he was a monopolist and oil baron, but he was absolutely an icon and influential. I mean, I literally work in one Rockefeller, so I got to give my number
Right.
2 spot to him.
you could argue that if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the laws that we have today about monopoly. So
Also true.
there you go.
Yeah, it was pretty much his long game. He was a good guy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was
I
just
mean,
looking
he
out
was
for us.
Yeah, he was doing it on our best interest.
Great guy.
Number one, we're going to reach even further back in history. We're going to go with a president for this one. We're going John Quincy Adams.
Really?
Ooh.
Takes the number one spot. I really like a bunch of parts of his presidency. First of all, he swore on the Book of Constitutional Law, not a Bible, which I think is good. He opposed parties and worked to be nonpartisan. He fixated on infrastructure building, which I think is a huge part of being a president, and I think that's a really good thing to fixate on. And he also found slavery abhorrent in a time when it wasn't super common to. So I think he was a great all-around John, and he takes my number one John spot of all time.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of good Johns on that
A lot
list.
of good Johns on
Yeah.
that list. A little John heavy, if I do say so, but
Just
Well,
a little
no.
John heavy.
wow.
It's funny because my list is full of Johns too.
That's
Really?
crazy.
Yeah. With my number 5 spot, I'm going with a active baseball player right now. Got to go with my boy John Lester.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
In his 14th year this year, 5-time All-Star, won the NLCS MVP back in 2016 with the Chicago Cubs as they took the World Series
Go Cubs,
that
go.
year. Last year, he led the league with wins with 18. Great all-around John right there. Great John.
And that's a J-O-N, I think, right?
That is a J-O-N.
Okay, so
Wow.
we got our first J-O-N.
Interesting.
And funny, my number 4 is also a J-O-N.
Oh.
Oh,
It is. I'm going John Bellion.
okay.
Oh, that's a good
That's
one.
a good
Long Island
job.
native.
Wow.
Yeah, he's local to us. I'm going to see him next month down in Jones Beach, back in his hometown.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, yeah. He's one of my favorite artists right now. The Human Condition. You also have Glory Sound Prep, both great albums. Great guy. I mean, he has all those behind the scenes of making of his own songs, which is really cool. He makes all his songs, he produces all of them, so really cool.
Nice.
Great John. Number 3, going with a very, very famous John. Old Town John. Old Town John.
What?
Old
Did
Town-
you almost just say
Are you
Old Town
okay?
Road?
Old Town Road. I almost did. Number 3, going John Lennon.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, very iconic, John.
Great John.
He would have been good on Old Town Road.
Oh.
Ooh.
Maybe they can auto-tune somehow, get his voice on there. But Imagine is a great song. And I mean, he has all the great songs with the Beatles. So, number 2, watched this guy when I was little. And then I stopped watching the WWE when I went to go see it live and saw how fake it was. But
Yeah, it was me too.
instead of Rey Mysterio, my second favorite wrestler had to be John Cena. He's going into movies now. I mean, some of his movies are stupid, but he's a funny guy.
Just
He's
great
also
John.
He's great John.
He's granted the most Make-A-Wishes out of anyone.
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
he has.
He's a great guy.
Absolute great dude.
Great
Too bad
guy.
we can't see him.
He brings the name. He brings the name John quite a good reputation, I would say.
Yeah, he
Great
just
John.
Great
shines down on all the Johns.
And what's your number 1?
Number 1, I'm going back to baseball. One of the pitchers that really got me into pitching, who I've kind of molded myself to, had a lot of the same pitching styles that I do, John Smoltz.
I can't say I'm
Who?
familiar.
Yeah, who was John Smoltz?
John Smoltz. He pitched for the Atlanta Braves. He was born on May 15th, the day before me, but back in 1967, 1999. 8-time All-Star. He won the World Series back in 1995. He's a part of the Hall of Fame. He won the Cy Young and also the NLCS MVP. I mean, great guy. He has 213 wins in a sub-3 ERA. I mean, he was a great pitcher. He was someone that would not dominate you with the speed, but, would work the corners, and that's kind of what I did being a little kid. So, great John. He really got me into baseball and kind of got me where I was now.
Nice.
Good
That's
list.
a good list of Johns there, Noah.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'm gonna take it away. I'm gonna hit a couple more Johns here. Now, my first 2 Johns, a little bit controversial. Okay, my number 5, I've talked about him before. It's a Jon, John Jones. Now,
I thought you hated
Yeah,
it.
I thought
I
you
thought-
hated
yeah.
John Jones.
but now hear me out. Hate the guy.
Didn't he just assault someone?
Yes, I hate the guy. But he's a great role model for what you shouldn't do in life.
I think that's some pretty backwards logic. I'm not sure if I'm hopping aboard that train, but I'll let you roll.
Great
with it.
role
What's
model
the
for what
number
not
4?
to do. Number 4, I don't know if you guys know this guy, infamous rapper. He was kind of like up and coming. His name is John Gabbana.
No.
You don't know who this guy is?
No.
Okay, well, neither do I. And to be honest, when I was Googling greatest Johns, this guy came up, and in order to try and gain more popularity and more followers last year, he overdosed on Xanax.
Why is that funny? Why is that funny?
I thought it was pretty funny.
Good job. Great job.
Kind of horrible, but okay. R.I.P. Let's just move on to your number 3.
Number 3.
So far, he's had a Xanax overdose and a UFC fighter.
I think we know who's losing the poll this week.
I'm sandbagging. Number 3, Noah better agree with me on this one. John Deere. Great John, a pioneer in his business, an absolute
Pine
pioneer.
Bush. He really made Pine Bush the city it is today. I mean, we need John Deeres to get around. You see him on the road all the time. Great John. It's my lawnmower. He made my lawnmower. The exact lawnmower I have is it has his name on it.
Yeah, great guy. He's all over the place. Huge business guy. Love that John. Number 2, John Green.
Oh,
Crash Course and was it
that's a
Fault in Our
good one.
Stars?
Yeah, Fault in Our
I
Stars.
would not have been able to pass any of my AP history
That's a
tests
really good
if it
one.
wasn't for him.
Connor,
So
way to revive the list there.
Yeah.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah,
I
thank
wouldn't
you.
say it's revived yet.
No, I'm not saying he went to like negative 200. He's
No.
at like negative like 198 now.
That's
So
okay.
that's like
He's making progress.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll
He's heading
take
in
it.
the right direction.
John Green, great guy, good John all around. Number 1, I went for the fictional side here. John Wick.
Oh.
John
I mean,
Wick. If you ever have a
massive
problem,
murderer, but okay.
no, but it's like if you ever have a problem, if you're friends with John Wick, give him a call.
He'll kill someone for you.
He'll take care of it.
Okay, don't
He'll
know
take
about
care of
that
it.
one.
You know, he's breathtaking.
Whoa. Nice one.
Thank you.
Alec, please, please.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little
Make this
uncomfortable to
better.
be living with Connor at this point. Considering his list considered of paid killer in John Wick and John Jones, who just snorts cocaine and beats up people when he's outside of the octagon. But moving on,
Allegedly.
my top 5 list is probably as far away from Connor's as possible.
Good.
In fact, it's just about as holy as you could get.
Okay.
My number 5 spot, easily in my top 50 popes of all time.
Oh Jesus! I knew this was what you were gonna say.
Pope John the 11th.
But what?
Pope John the 11th.
Great John.
Great John.
When was he Pope?
A couple years ago, actually,
A
I knew
while
him.
ago.
I knew
It was
him
a while ago.
personally.
He was
I'm so confused.
he was born in Rome. Yeah. He died in Rome.
Let's move on to number 4. What's your next Pope? Please tell me your next Pope.
My next pope is Pope John II.
Pope John II.
All right,
Oh,
what's the third one?
what an iconic pope.
Can I please explain Pope John II for a second?
Yes, give me one accomplishment of Pope John
All of
II.
He was the second Pope.
Yeah,
John.
Pope John II, also another fantastic John.
Nick is so fed up with us right
I'm
now.
not fed up. I'm just like,
Nick had the most serious look.
I mean, Noah's and I were both serious.
Yeah, so number 4 slot goes to Pope John II. I mean, he just loved God, and God loved him back.
How many children did he love?
Whoa, dude, we can't talk about that.
Yeah, I mean,
If we're gonna talk popes,
Allegedly.
yeah, he was born in Rome.
He died in Rome.
Pope John the 17th comes
Number
in at 3. This guy, rumor has it he high-fived Jesus. I mean, now we're breaking into my top 10 popes of all time. Pope John the 17th. Moving on to my number 2 slot, Johnny Appleseed.
Wow, great job.
Okay.
Johnny
Can I
Appleseed.
just ask, are you sure there was a John the 17th?
There was.
John the 17th?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 23 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked. I've done extensive research.
Yeah.
So where did the
I'm a-
17th? Where was he born?
17th?
Yeah.
I know he died in Rome. They don't really know where he was born, his whereabouts.
Okay.
Would you say it was Europe?
Yeah, somewhere around there. But yeah, Pope John 17th, top 10 pope of all time, in my opinion. Moving on to number 2, like I said, Johnny Appleseed. I mean,
A pioneer.
a pioneer in the apple business. Like Einstein once said, we wouldn't have apples today if it wasn't for Johnny Appleseed just planting all those trees. You know,
I'm so confused. Did all of you like drop acid? I'm so confused as to what's happening.
you know, all the great things we get from Johnny Appleseed. You know, apples.
Seeds.
And songs.
Yeah. You know, apple pies. Apple sauce.
Yeah, I think
But
we
speaking
get
of
the trend
apples,
here. Can we?
speaking of apples, overrated fruit.
Apples are very overrated.
Severely overrated.
Anyway, what's your number 1? Please end this for me.
Apple juice, apple cider. Oh my god.
Apple vinaigrette.
Oh, that's all. What is that? Is that a
Ew,
thing?
dude.
I don't know.
No.
Okay, moving on, just to get serious for a second. Number 1, John of all time, Pope John the 23rd. This guy is easily in my top 3 favorite popes of all time.
Where was
He just did miracle after miracle. He was a great guy. And he was actually the last Pope John, so we're waiting for number 24 to roll around. But as for Pope John the 23rd,
Where was he based out of?
I think it was the Vatican.
Okay, alright, yeah.
So
Okay.
that concludes our top 5s. Make sure you vote on whose top 5 you agree with. I mean, it's kind of obvious.
It's pretty
in my
obvious
opinion.
here.
But Nick, what are we moving on to next?
Yeah. So thank God that's over.
Oh.
Oh man. Okay.
So
So
watch what you say about the popes.
moving far away from that, Connor, I believe you wanted to talk Emmys.
Yes, okay, so a couple days ago, the Emmy nominees were released, and to be honest, I'm a little bit annoyed, and I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. Nick, I don't know how much you can chime in because you haven't watched Game of Thrones, but
That's what you think. Binged the entire thing yesterday.
alright, great for you, okay. So, for those of you who don't know, Game of Thrones was nominated for 32 Emmys. 32 Emmys. Now, my main man, Peter Dinklage, was also nominated for an Emmy in supporting actor. I thought Peter Dinklage should have got lead actor. I don't know what you guys think about it, but
Is that on the Emmys, or is that something that Game of Thrones like designated? Because I'm pretty sure that would be. Because I'm pretty sure every show would like designate like, oh, this is the
Yeah.
lead actor. And
Yeah,
like
I
I don't
also
know how the
think-
credits work in Game of Thrones, but like in most shows, like the
Yeah, that's
the
a thing,
main
like,
actors and actors
Can you
like
tell
pop
me?
up.
Can you tell me? Like, because I've watched Game of Thrones throughout. Who would you say is the lead actor then? Yes, you can say Peter Dinklage
Who was nominated
was.
for it? Was anyone nominated?
it was Kit Harington, Jon Snow.
Who
Okay.
is technically the main character of the show.
So
And I
then-
feel like you can only really have one
Yes.
main character, because
Yeah.
besides that, then they're
You-
just supporting.
Yeah,
Just
you
like
can't
how,
have two leads.
just like how Amelia Clarke, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, she was leading actress.
is
Yes.
leading actress, and then there's what, four of the
There's
Four of the
female
six are
roles
yeah,
that
Game
are
of Thrones,
supporting
yeah.
actress. So I feel like it's just you can only have one lead actor or one lead actress for.
Speaking of the female supporting actors, Gwendolyn Christie, who played Brienne of Tarth, self-nominated herself for an Emmy. So she put in her own ballot and then got accepted for an Emmy nomination, and a lot of people were criticizing her for that. But realistically, I don't see why people would criticize her for that. I know a lot of actors do. I don't know. A lot of actors do that. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
No, I mean your biggest supporter is yourself. Like if no one else is going to nominate you, not like
yeah,
you do it.
exactly. I
I'm
think
all for that.
you got to be your own biggest fan, and obviously, if you've watched Game of Thrones, you know that she absolutely killed that role
Oh,
of
yeah.
Brienne of Tarth. So, in my opinion, it was deserved anyway.
Definitely.
And the means of which she had to go about it may have been a little unorthodox. I assume it happens all the time in Hollywood, but I definitely don't think she deserves any criticism for it.
I just want to quick give a shout out to a show that I actually do watch. I know that Game of Thrones all showed up on your guys' top 5 TV characters of all time list. Obviously, it didn't show up on mine because I don't watch it. But what did show up was Eleanor Shellstrop. The only Emmy nominated show this year that I've actually seen is The Good Place, which has quite a few nominations. So I'm just saying I throw my full support behind that. It's a great show. I don't know if you guys have any comments on that, or if you want to get back to Game of Thrones, but I wanted to throw that in there.
What was
Didn't I just saw it from San Diego Comic Con that The Good Place is done. Is it done, or is it? Like,
I'm actually not
they're
sure
moving
about that.
The Bad Place. I saw something where a bunch of the actors.
The storyline has been like pretty close to exhausting. Like I don't think I'm caught up with the most recent episodes, but like they have been really pushing the limits of that storyline, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's done or there's a pivot or something.
Because I saw something where they're either like creating a new TV show off of it, named The Bad Place, which is like something about it. It might have been just like a Twitter thing, but I also
I would be interested.
I just saw a bunch of stuff that were saying like Good Place might be done or something like that.
Interesting.
But I've heard a lot of good things about.
What were they
Good Place.
nominated for, or was it just the show?
A lot of things. The show, best supporting actress in a comedy role, best guest actress in a comedy role, Maya Rudolph. I think lead actress maybe with Kristen Bell. A bunch of stuff. But
Yeah, I mean, good for
anyway,
them.
let's transition from TV to music here. I believe Alec, you wanted to pose us a little question.
Yeah, so late last week, I believe, the world was graced with yet another Old Town Road remix. Once again, featuring Billy Ray Cyrus, but this time also including Young Thug and our very own Mason Ramsey, who absolutely killed it. So I just wanted to pose the question for the guys really quick. If you could pick 3 artists from past or present to be featured in an Old Town remix, who would you choose? Now, this isn't technically a top 3, because we already have that segment. This is just 3 artists that you would love to see from the past or now that you would like to see on the remix. Noah, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think with all these remixes that have been coming out, I think Lil Nas is kind of making a joke out of it. Like, oh my gosh, new remix, because they just made a Week 17 version too. There's a new YouTube video out of the Week 17 version. It's like
I don't know what
the
that
music
is.
video is just a little bit different than the regular one.
Well, probably for the 17 weeks that he was number one.
Oh.
'Cause he's not
I
number-
was
it's
thinking,
not number one
WEAK.
anymore.
It's not?
It's not anymore. No.
What took it?
I was looking at it this morning. Actually, hold on. Let me.
Probably what, Bad Guy is up there?
No, it's not. It's not even that. I want to say it's probably a fucking Drake song. Hold on.
So,
Let me see. Top charts. Number 1 is Money in the Grave, Drake, and then number 2 is No Guidance featuring Drake, Chris Brown.
Is that on iTunes?
Yeah.
Oh, this is about Billboard.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Well,
why don't you tell us
going
what
on.
Connor's looking that up?
I think it would be really funny to hear Weird Al come on.
Wow.
Okay.
Coming on, getting a verse, maybe changing Old Town Road to, whatever he can think of.
I don't see that as like too far fetched either. Like, I
No,
feel
like
that-
it could definitely happen, and it would probably be good.
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Number 2,
Whoops.
I have another kind of comedy team, The Lonely Island.
Okay.
I
Good.
think that would be
Yeah.
really fun.
That
We're
would be
going for
funny.
the funny ones here.
I'm
since
kind of
they
going,
made- okay.
but see, with my number 1, shout out to the top 5 Johns. This John did not make my list, but a great John. I can see acoustic Old Town Road version
yeah.
coming out with John Legend
John
on
Legend, yeah, I knew you were
Wow.
Make it sad.
He's
Make it
gonna
sad.
make it really sad.
Make it sad.
it.
Or just emotional, not
Just
just really
emotional.
sad, just like
A
really
real tearjerker.
Or just have the same remix going, and then out of nowhere it just goes to an All of Me melody, and then all you just hear is John Legend just hit his verse and probably kill it better than Lil Nas could.
Wow,
But
that's
yeah,
a hot
That's a
take.
hot take.
Nick, you want to go next?
Sure. So my first one came about kind of the same way. I was thinking like funny people that would hop on, so I went Lil Dicky. I thought that he could do some damage on an Old Town Road remix, drop a nice verse that had some good references in it, and make it a banger. My second one, I went back in history a little bit. Elton John. I think one of my favorite songs at the moment is High by
Young
Young
Thug.
Thug with Elton John, which is technically remixing Rocket
Rocket
Man,
Man,
but
yeah.
it just sounds so good together that I think they could totally make an Old Town Road remix with Elton John work really well. So I put him. And then my final one is I thought this guy could just make it an absolute club banger more than it already is. A$AP Ferg.
Oof.
I think of songs like Work, and I just think like Shaba, and I just think he hops on an Old Town Road remix, and that verse could go crazy in a bar or a club or just hanging out with friends. Like I think that takes a different direction from funny or like classic and just goes absolutely ham.
Yeah,
So
that
I
would be-
put A$AP
I'll have to
Ferg.
say, and in concert, that would be crazy.
Oh,
That
yeah,
would be fire.
Absolutely.
Connor and I went to go see Logic 2 years ago.
It was
now?
last summer.
It was last summer,
Yeah.
and he brought out ASAP Ferg,
Yeah.
and I mean it was insane.
Yeah.
All sold out MSG just erupted.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, so I'll go next. I definitely went for one somewhat funnier one, but at the same time could turn into something pretty good. Nice little Migos beat on there. Who knows what they'd be able to do? It would either be comedic just excellence, or who knows? Migos could make it another hit. They could do something crazy with it.
Crazy.
Thank you, Noah. Number 2, Bruno Mars.
Wow.
Bruno Mars, you know, Nick and I were talking about this earlier. I think he would be able to just do something amazing on that. I'd love to see that. Huge Bruno Mars guy. And number 3, you gotta go with one of the greats here, Kanye West. I'd love to see just, you know, because he's just got that vision. And I'd love to see just if he would be able to spin it into a completely different way and see what he'd be able to do with it.
He crossed my mind, but I just feel like he'd ruin it. Like, I feel like part of the remix is that you do have to stay on track with the original, and I feel like Kanye hopping on it would kind of take it in a direction that people would, kind of like the Diplo one, where it strayed too far from the original, and people were just like, eh. Like, I totally think Kanye can make it work because he is a great artist, but when I was thinking of a Kanye remix, I was kind of just, eh.
I just want to see it to see, at the end of the day, what he'd be able to do to it.
Yeah, so coming in at my third spot, I have the Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
Just
Okay.
because we've seen this trend with Old Town Road remixes that they seem to be growing. And I know that Lil Nas X put out a little joke on Twitter like a couple days ago where he just had like 15 horses on the cover of a hypothetical. And every remix seems to be featuring more and more artists. So why not include one of the greatest boy bands of all time in the Backstreet Boys? Number 2, I went a little back to the 80s. One of my favorite bands of all time, featuring, in my opinion, the greatest frontman of all time. I want to see what Freddie Mercury and Queen would do with a Lil Nas X Old Town Road remix. You know, there's nothing that a Brian May guitar solo, doesn't work well with. And then you throw Roger Taylor with a little drum solo towards the end, and then Freddie would just take it home with whatever the hell Freddie whips out.
How long would you envision a Queen remix being?
About 28 minutes.
Nine.
Because I was going to say,
years.
like, every Old Town Road remix has been like 2.5 minutes at the most, and I feel like if you're going to have Queen hop on it, it's not 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, they would make sure to include an operatic section. And my number 1, I am very shocked that Connor had this in there, but my favorite rapper of all time, and in my opinion, one of the best producers in music today, I want to see what Kanye West can do with an Old Town Road remix.
Yeah.
I listen to Kanye, and Connor knows better than anybody. I have an entire Kanye playlist on my Spotify.
God, so many.
It's 3 hours of straight Kanye. But the things that he's able to do with his music and just make it sound different than anything else that's out there right now. And I realize that the whole appeal of a remix is that it doesn't stray too far from the original. But thinking down the line, if Lil Nas X keeps pumping out these remixes, I think in the long run it'd be nice to have one that kind of strays from the original and sees what he can do with it.
Fair enough. Noah, I believe you wanted to talk about something that happened this weekend. Did it happen on
It was this weekend?
Yes, it was. It finished up yesterday. Big event for some entertainment and geeks like me. San Diego Comic-Con, big Comic-Con event. This is where most of these production companies go and start talking about the new movies that are at least in production, about to be announced, or about to come out. And I have a list of some of the movies and series that I think that I'm going to like, or think that a bunch of people are going to like also. First one that I saw was The Walking Dead movie. I was big into The Walking Dead just when Negan came into, I think that was like the season 6 finale or something.
6 into 7 was
Yes,
Negan, yeah. Which was a huge, because I was watching there too. That was a huge peak. Like, right as he came in, and then 7 was huge, and then it just dropped.
Yeah, so right after about season 7 is when I stopped watching The Walking Dead, just because it was kind of dying out. But The Walking Dead movie coming back with Rick Grimes, hopefully it will be good. I'm really excited to see how they do that. Another one that was really exciting, not for myself, but I know a lot of people do like this, are different Star Trek films and TV shows coming out. I'm more of a Star Wars guy, but I know a lot of people like Star Trek, and probably are going to like how these movies are going. Another one, new Top Gun movie. Top Gun Maverick is coming out. Gotta love Tom Cruise. Top Gun movie. I know if Joey was here, he would probably now talk about this for 30 minutes.
I'm just going to throw this one out to Joey. I've never seen Top Gun.
Nor have I.
But it's really cool because none of the stunts that are in the planes were CG. It was all real life stunts.
But Tom Cruise is known for that, right?
Yeah.
For all of his Mission Impossible movies, he does his own stunts.
I don't know if he's the one maneuvering the planes, but
It probably is.
Well, because I know for Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise literally became a certified
Skydiver.
Skydiver.
he
Yeah.
had to. If you ever look back at those Mission Impossibles, he's like the main producer because none of the producers would let him do his own stunts. So he actually started producing those movies himself, so he could actually do the stunts himself.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's
Baller.
crazy. You remember what he did? I've never seen any of the Mission Impossibles,
Me neither.
but it was the one where he was climbing up the Burj Khalifa, the
Yeah.
tallest building in the world, and he was actually like suction cupping like onto the tallest building in the world.
He's insane.
Wow.
I mean, certified Halo jumper. I mean, it's crazy. It looks. I mean, he's great, and I mean, some of the plane stunts that you see just in the trailer look amazing. Another one, a new HBO series coming out, Watchmen. This movie came out a couple of years ago. I know there's a bunch of comics about it. I never really got to reading the comics about Watchmen, but I remember that movie. That movie was great, and I think that they're bringing this TV show. It's an HBO show. I mean, it's going to be great no matter what. And Watchmen, I mean, it has a really great storyline to it itself. Another one is a Netflix series coming out, The Witcher.
Looks good.
Great books, great video games, and Henry Cavill coming in. I mean, he's going to play The Witcher great, and I think that's just going to be another really good series. Netflix is doing it. Stranger Things is one of my favorite TV shows out right now, who's produced by Netflix. So I know that will be good, and that's been in the works for a couple of years now, too. And now we get into the Marvel. Phase 4 was announced. This was only until 2022, I want to say. So we have about 2 years of Phase 4. We have 10 different productions that are happening. First one that we're going to get into is Black Widow. So we're finally going to get to know what Hawkeye and Black Widow are talking about when they're always talking about Budapest. What is happening with that? We have I can't think of his name right now.
David Harbour.
David Harbour, that's his name. He's going to be the main villain in Black Widow. He's playing a guy named Alexei, which is ironic because there is a Russian scientist in Stranger Things who kind of took over everybody's hearts, named Alexei, and then he died. Sorry. Spoilers.
Jeez,
Wow.
that's recent.
Hashtag go get your Slurpees. So we got Black Widow, which is May 1st, 2020. We should probably be getting a trailer for that in the next month, I'd say. And then the first TV show to go out on Disney Plus for Marvel is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which we see from their emblem.
That's a TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
gonna
I
be a
didn't
series.
realize that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that one should be really good.
I'm
We
really
see.
not excited for that one.
I
We
just
see-
love their banter on screen together. Like,
Yeah.
I think the two of them as a pair, like, just even as, like, actual people is hysterical, so.
Yeah, and we see from the emblem that it actually has Captain America's shield. So everyone was kind of iffy because they're going as the Falcon and Winter Soldier,
It's
but
interesting.
in Endgame we see the Falcon actually get Captain America's shield, so it's cool to see that they're going for Captain America. Next on that list is The Eternals, which is going to be the first movie that we have new characters coming in.
Excited for that.
We also have the first deaf superhero coming in on that. I don't really remember her name. I just see some of the highlights about it.
Like in the MCU?
In the
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay, yeah. I was just going to say Ghost Rider would technically be it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But not MCU. Sure.
And then that is November 6th, 2020, which is nice because we're getting 3 different movies and TV shows in 2020 from MCU when we usually only get 1 movie or 2 movies if you're happy, you're lucky. Next, first one coming to 2021 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which will actually show the real Mandarin. If you remember from Iron Man
really?
3, you remember that old dude who said he was the Mandarin, who was the leader of the Ten Rings, but came up as a drunk and a druggie. We'll actually get to see what the real Mandarin is doing, and Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. That's just going to be a super dope movie. And then next in 2021 is WandaVision, which we'll get
I'm
to see.
excited for that.
Yeah, we'll get to see more into Vision and Scarlet Witch's little relationship. We know that in the MCU right now, Vision is no longer with us, but that one should be really good. And then our first horror movie in the MCU, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
So excited for this one.
That one is going to be great. If you remember from the first Doctor Strange, the graphics and CGI on that were insane.
And Scarlet Witch will be in that one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That one is May 7th, 2021. And then some other TV shows we have coming out for 2021. We have the Loki one, which will bring right back up when Loki steals the Tesseract in the 2012 when they go back in time. We have Marvel What If, which will be an animated series, which
That'll
will
be cool.
Yeah.
also have all of the characters that are going to be in that voiced by their actual characters that were from the
That's
MCU, which will be really cool. We have Hawkeye, which Jeremy Renner is coming back and
Yeah,
playing.
he is.
And
And
we'll
his daughter, right?
yes,
Yeah.
we'll get to see Kate Bishop. So they'll be a sweet duo. And Hawkeye, you could say, is the superhero that was actually the team captain, kept the guys together. Love Jeremy Renner, love Hawkeye. And then the last one we have, Thor: Love and Thunder. We're gonna get
This is gonna be a good one.
we're gonna get first gay superhero in Valkyrie, and
Well, I don't know. I think bi, right? LGBT.
LGBT, yeah.
and then we'll also get girl.
If
Thor.
we don't get Korg in this
we
movie,
will, because they're bringing
I'm
Taika
rioting.
Waititi back, and he's the voice
Yeah,
of
and
Korg, I
he
think,
was
for
he was on the
sure.
panel, and he's been a fan favorite since Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I hope they stay. I hope they stay kind of with that comedic relief that was in
dude,
Ragnarok.
they have
Look
to.
at the cover
Yeah.
of Thor: Love and
They
Thunder.
have
For
to.
sure they will.
Um,
Does that wrap it up?
because then we also we've got Guardians 3.
Guardians 3,
Black
Fantastic
Panther 2.
4, Fantastic
X-Men.
X-Men, yes.
Theorizing.
Fantastic Four, which will be the third series of Fantastic
Third
Four.
try.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves will come in and save that one.
Hopefully. Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2.
Yep.
But that's all Phase 5.
Yeah.
We have Phase
Can't
4
wait.
set up. And it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And they also tease Secret Wars, which is
Ooh,
which is
okay.
crazy, which means Tom Holland does have to renew his contract if
Right.
he wants to do Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Cool. Well, good little rundown there. I think we're all excited for that. Can't wait to see the shows and movies. Now let's talk moon landing. So the moon landing anniversary was the 50-year anniversary was a couple days ago. I want to say Saturday, but I might be wrong about that. But a couple days ago, and I don't want to get punched by Buzz Aldrin, so I'm gonna say I believe that we did really land on the moon. But I want to hear from you guys. What's one conspiracy theory that you maybe kind of sort of think has some legs? You know, you might not fully believe in it, but you're like, I could see it. You know. So, who's got
Yeah,
one
I'll
for
go.
me?
I guess I'll take the reins and take the reins on the horse because we're going to Denver. What is up with this Denver airport?
It's a weird
It's
one,
messy.
right?
We got different murals showing Nazis
Yeah.
killing children. We have
The
a
horse.
whole airport that was 16 months overdue when they
and like
said
millions of dollars.
it was
$2 billion.
$2 billion
Yeah.
overspent. So people think that there's something underground.
But it's just a normal airport.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason it should cost $2 billion.
And then the overhead view
Yep.
looks like a swastika,
Yeah.
and
The horse.
the sculptor dies when
Yeah.
he was making the horse, and the horse just looks creepy as ever. I think that one has some legs. There has to be
Very
more
shady.
to that.
I'm
Very
not
shady.
flying into Denver. Like, no.
Yeah,
No
I
shot.
don't know what the deal with that airport is, but like Connor said, I'm trying to avoid Denver at all costs if I have to fly into that airport. I mean, you would think that with all the technology we have today and how seamlessly easy, architectural wonders are in today's day and age, you would think that before constructing the massive building that's $2 billion over budget, there would be one person on the team that says, you know what? This kind of resembles a swastika.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe they're
Agreed.
all just incredibly innocent humans that had
Yeah.
no idea, but the fact that
well, to be fair, I don't think it's the building layout. I think it's the runway layout.
yes,
It's the
it's the
runway.
entire
Yeah.
complex in itself. It's like, if you look at it from Google Maps,
I mean,
Yeah.
if we really want to know what's going on there, after we finish up liberating the aliens in Area 51, we should just storm the airport and see what's going on
Head
there.
up
Yeah.
a bunch of shovels and start digging. There's got to be something down there.
All right, who's got another one for us, Connor?
I'll go next. I think Elvis is still alive.
I like this.
Ooh.
I think
okay.
Elvis is still alive, and I was reading up a lot on this recently, actually, before we even came up with this idea, and I don't know if you guys know this, but obviously Elvis was coming into huge popularity and everything, doing all of his shows, and Elvis loved America, loved the police force, loved the FBI and everything. The FBI actually asked Elvis Presley to look into a group of people that they thought were doing some suspicious activities and try and get a little layout for them, and since he was Elvis, the group wouldn't suspect anything.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the group members actually found out that Elvis was a rat, and there was a kill order put out on Elvis. So I think he faked his death.
Wow.
I think he faked his death. He just took his money and said, you know what, I'm out of here, see you guys later. And he's just chilling somewhere.
Well, so if he did, then he's got to be close to actual death.
Yeah, I would say he's either...
Well, at
Maybe-
this point, he'd be like late 70s, early
Yeah.
At
80s.
least.
Because he was born in like mid 30s, I believe. But my thing is, growing up, I was an Elvis enthusiast. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I listened to Elvis all the time. Probably my favorite artist when I was a little kid. But recently, you know, especially with the conspiracy theories, this one is super interesting because it really has a lot of traction. And people, especially nowadays with drones and everything that you
Like,
can just know.
People have actually made a group of, like, let's go find Elvis. And, like, people have sworn that they've seen Elvis before.
Oh my God, there's been-
there was the...
It's like
a
looking
Home
for
Alone.
Bigfoot.
The original Home Alone movie, people swore on their lives that Elvis was an extra in the original Home Alone movie.
I feel like that's really unlikely because if you fake your death, you're not going to be an extra in a
I
movie.
feel
Yeah,
like,
which is
I feel
like-
like
I
at
think
this
that's
point,
a
if
bit-
he's close to 80, he's just having fun with it.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, like there's
no,
been
at that
there's
point,
I
yeah.
remember one time one of the more famous pictures of supposed Elvis in modern day is at what's the name of it? I forgot the name of his mansion in Memphis, Tennessee.
It's
can't remember.
Graceland.
Graceland, yes, thank you. But someone snapped a picture of the gardener just mowing the lawn at Graceland, and it went viral because it was a rather husky man. It was like older, and he had the same like whiter hair as if you would assume Elvis would now, and kind of the same facial structure. So people were just going crazy over this one picture of.
That's funny.
And which would be hysterical if Elvis was mowing his own lawn.
Yeah.
But my conspiracy theory also has to do with music. However, mine is going back a little bit earlier. And mine is not an American artist. Mine is actually British takeover, Beatlemania. Back in 1966, it was alleged that Paul McCartney had died in a car crash.
Yeah.
And of course, the rest of the Beatles, including supposed Paul McCartney himself, completely denied this. However, there has been a lot of traction behind it because at that time the Beatles were at the height of their success, and they obviously didn't want anything to alter their future. So it was assumed by Beatlemaniacs, as they refer to themselves, that a man by the name of Billy Shears replaced Paul McCartney after his car crash in which he died in 1966. Obviously, he was an identical look-alike, and there's even further evidence, according to some conspiracy theorists. If you listen to their famous album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, in the song Day in the Life, if you listen to it backwards, towards the end of the song, you can hear John Lennon saying Paul is dead. And it's not the most audible thing ever. If you know what to listen for, you can hear it. But someone out there decided to listen to the album backwards and pick this up. And then in the same album, it happens again. At the end of Strawberry Fields Forever, if you listen to it backwards, you can hear John Lennon saying, I buried Paul, which is even more haunting.
That's so...
Okay.
And
that's
then
creepy.
on the cover of Abbey Road, which is
Yes.
the most famous,
Yeah.
arguably the most famous Beatles album, all four of them are walking across the street to their recording studio, and all of them have shoes on, and Paul is barefoot. So a lot of people looked at this and
And he's also different strides than
Right.
everyone
Yeah.
else.
yes, and there was also they even took this even further, and they looked at the fact that George Harrison was wearing blue, and they thought that he was the gravedigger, and then they saw John Lennon, who I think was wearing white, and he was the priest, and
They go deep into
Ringo
this. That's
Ringo
crazy.
was wearing all black, and he was the pallbearer, and just ridiculous things like this.
Nice.
What was it?
Pallbearer.
What did I say?
You
No.
said pallbearer.
But
Good
Paul
pun.
McCartney, Paul Bearer.
Oh, no pun intended. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of traction for this one. But as if you're not a conspiracy theorist, then Paul McCartney is alive and well, and he's still performing. So I don't believe it personally. But
I'm gonna go a little bit bigger picture, not just someone not dying, but pretty much global conspiracy here. And I think the best conspiracy theories are the ones that are based in known fact, because you actually have something to build off of and say, like, this is true, but I think it's more than what we're led to believe. And so the one that I picked is Bohemian Grove. And if you don't know what that is, it's a grove in California, and it's widely known that every year there is a meetup among the elite, I believe in America, but sometimes not Americans, and it's politicians like Nixon and just other very famous rich people, and they get together and they meet and they just have a blast. Supposedly there's like a play there every year, and just they get together and have fun. And it's always been a men's thing. There's been 4 honorary women members, but they had a whole lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court about not hiring women employees because they said that the men like to just urinate wherever, and it would change the habits of the club members.
Boys
so
will
this
be boys.
This is literally a social gathering for the men, the elite men of the world, to just be hooligans. But a lot of people think that there's something deeper with it, and that they're actually going there to plan events or strategize about what's going to happen in the world. And this is backed by people trying to ask members of prominent political members, like, what's up with Bohemian Grove, and they like completely shut it down. Like, they stop taking questions on a presser, or they have security remove the person that asked. Like, they're totally secretive about it, and it seems very shady. So I think that it has some legs, that people are getting together, and it's all the elite people in America. They're getting together and they're saying, here's what we want to happen. And I think it's got some legs. Some people take it extreme. They say there's like sacrifices there and like weird burning stuff. I don't know if it goes that far, but it's a bunch of really powerful people together. Why would they not try and plan some stuff and strategize? I could see that.
That's fair. That's a weird one.
I guess we got to become powerful to get in there to get the answers.
Absolutely.
We'll spill the deets later.
Yeah.
I would hope that if the elite and the rich and powerful men of the world are going to gather and plan out certain events for the world, they would do it in a more secretive location than what seems to be just, what is it? Like, what
it's a very private club. You can't just waltz in. You really just can't waltz in. So it is private and secretive. But anyway, I want to end this podcast with a little quiz, another Twitter quiz. We got some good feedback on this, so I wanted to do it again for you guys. Same thing as last time. 4 of these things did actually trend in the past week. 1 of them did not. You guys have to tell me which one did not actually trend. I will give you a little bit of background on each one, just a quick little 10-second spiel. You guys tell me which one didn't work, didn't trend. The first one is AP Rocky, not ASAP Rocky. AP Rocky. It had to do with him being jailed and Trump trying to get him out, but it trended as AP Rocky because Twitter did not recognize the $sign as part of the trend, so it was not ASAP Rocky, it trended as AP Rocky. The second one is hashtag gives me Peter Tingles, which came from Spider-Man Far From Home, and it was people talking about things that give them Peter Tingles, otherwise known as Spider Sense, as Aunt May says it, Peter Tingles in the movie. The third one is hashtag Sensodyne for ice cream. That's Sensodyne, the toothpaste brand, hashtag Sensodyne for ice cream. It was National Ice Cream Day, like Sunday or Saturday, and Sensodyne had a whole thing of like a charity thing or a sponsorship thing where they did hashtag Sensodyne for ice cream. The fourth one is Blackout, where people tweeted regarding the blackout due to weather across the country and especially New York, and how they were getting blacked out because of the blackout. So blackout.
Good for them.
Yeah. And the fifth one is hashtag fake Lion King's facts. So people were tweeting facts about the Lion King that are not true. Hashtag fake Lion King's facts. Which one did not trend?
Gives me Peter Tingles definitely trended. I saw that 100%.
Okay.
I don't know about this.
Did you see another one?
I think I saw the AP Rocky one.
But like my mindset with that is if you have a hashtag and a
Was it a hashtag?
It was not a hashtag.
Okay.
So I'm saying that one kind of has a thread that might not be true.
Because if it was a hashtag, that one would definitely not be it. Because the second the $sign was in there, it would have just cut it all off completely.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have just been hashtag A. I don't know. The Sensodyne for ice cream, I could totally see that happening.
Yeah,
You know,
I
like
can see
as
the marketing
kids-
team just being like, "We're all for ice cream. Our toothpaste can do this."
as kids, you know, we probably ate a little bit of toothpaste here and there when we were growing up. You know, you have the fruity
Connor
toothpaste.
speaks for himself on this podcast.
Maybe
I
that's
can't
just
relate.
All right, well, the fruity toothpaste. Let me tell you, that
That's
was
why Connor goes to the toothpaste so fast.
yeah.
I'm gonna bring the clock down on you guys. All right, Noah, give me your answer. I can read the
Yeah,
the
just
choices.
give me the
Okay,
clock.
AP Rocky. Hashtag gives me Peter Tingles. Hashtag Sensodyne for ice cream. Blackout blackout. Hashtag fake Lion King facts.
I have my answer.
I'm going with fake Lion King facts.
Noah thinks hashtag fake Lion King facts did not trend. Alec, what do you think?
I'll go blackout.
Alec thinks blackout blackout did not trend.
I'm going no fake Lion King facts.
Hashtag fake Lion King facts. There is a winner. Again, singular winner. Alec,
Oh.
congratulations. Blackout
He
blackout
does it
did
again.
not trend.
Wow.
Fake Lion King facts absolutely did. People were
That
tweeting
had to
things
have been
that did
recent
not
then.
happen.
That
Yeah,
had
it
to
was.
be super recent.
It was recent.
I saw a tweet. Yeah, someone tweeted, "Please don't spoil the Lion King movie. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet." And
The movie came out what?
94.
94.
Yeah.
So you know,
Civil War.
Twitter's always give.
Civil War.
Twitter's always giving us the
Gold.
comedies.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you everybody for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Look out on our Twitter at WildcardsCast for polls and whatnot to participate in. Follow us there. Subscribe down below. Thanks for listening.